Yo, yo, yo. What's good,
Yo,
everybody? How y'all doing, fellas?
doing all right, man. How about you?
I said I'm doing about a, I'm doing about an eight. I'm doing about an eight. Football,
I,
someone's back. Um, what's today's date? Whatever the date is,
18th, August 18th.
hell, tomorrow will mark the 30-day period where I finally get my life back. I'm gonna finally get my contacts on the 19th of next month. So we good. I'm blessed. I'm happy. I get to do what I do. Yeah, I'm good. I can't complain. How you doing, Rodney?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm at about, I'll say about 7, 8.
Hear
Not too
me out.
bad. Got,
Hear me out, fellas. To celebrate me getting my fucking health back, I want to throw a football game.
oh yeah?
Hell yeah. I want
You
to
gonna get
get.
your vision out? You gonna get your vision back just to blow your back out?
Whoa, pause.
See, this is the shit I'm talking about. I forgot y'all use that
Fuck.
terminology for other
I don't want
shit,
to
man.
hear it because about a month or two ago you did that on me. See, I don't do the pause shit, but you paused me, so I gotta pause you.
You know what I meant. Throw your back out.
Hell
Nah,
no.
he gonna be looking like Mike Vick out there, man.
No, because I'm gonna play strictly defense. I'm not playing offense. Fuck that. I don't give a fuck about offense. I just want to hit somebody.
Oh, yeah, that's what I like to hear.
I just want to hit somebody. I always been like that. Fuck offense.
You playing both sides.
But yeah, fucking maybe grill out or some shit. Have a couple drinks after. Yeah, I want to do a little football, son. Nothing too crazy, because I don't want nobody getting hurt.
Nah, that's
Um,
fire. I don't lie.
yeah, I think this like episode like 43. We getting up there. We working. Couple things I want to talk about, but first thing I want to talk about, I want to get something off my chest. And this is nothing about like personal life and no nothing, but this is more correlated to like video games. And people gotta realize that games like Madden, games like 2K, they don't fucking need you. And they're gonna keep putting out trash ass games, cause why? They the only games who are licensed. Like Madden, EA is only licensed, the only developers who's licensed to make the game. 2K is the only developer who's licensed to make a basketball game. If you complain about it and say you ain't buying 2K or Madden no more, they don't give a fuck. They still gonna put out the same trash ass fucking product because you know why? Billions of other people gonna buy it. So
And also, you could say that you're not gonna buy it all you want. We know your ass gonna play it.
like me, I say I ain't buying Madden, but you will know what I'm doing. I'm watching people play this shit. I may not personally buy this shit, but I'm watching other people play this shit.
I'm waiting
Hmm
for
So
Black Monday 2
2K, I ain't buying this year's 2K, but I'm gonna watch people play. If that shit gets gifted to me, if Madden or 2K gets gifted to me, guess what the fuck I'm doing? I'm playing this shit. So it's like,
My thing is too is like you get like professional streamers that play this shit for like 30 hours, 30
hmm
hours at a time, and they're like, oh, this game sucks, but the game probably gonna play just fine for me because I'm a casual player. I just play to play football. So like
hmm
it ain't gonna mean shit to me. I ain't playing online or playing no competition or nothing. I'm just trying to score 100 points against the Giants. That's all I'm trying to do.
yeah, man. And there's only one fix. There's only one fix that these that could fix the sports genre. NFL need to look at the whole shit, and they need to stop worrying about the money, and they gotta start worrying about the product, and they need to pull the licenses from just EA and let 2K make shit, because 2K arguably got the greatest football game ever made, arguably. 2K5 is arguably the greatest football game of all time.
Yeah.
And the
As far as
consistency.
like an NFL game, yeah.
Yeah. So like, and even with 2K, let EA, let Live come back. Like, it's gonna make the product be better because, oh shit, they put this product out, we gotta match that. That's all I gotta say. Stop bitching at the end of the day. Cause at the end of the day, like I was, you're gonna play the shit. You're going to play the shit. Um,
Yeah, you get people that complain about, they're like, oh, the new Madden game sucks, the new rules in the NFL sucks, this sucks, that sucks. I do just then stop talking football then. Like just stop watching and paying attention to football then. If all that stuff is so bad, then just stop watching it.
I only got one complaint about the football season, and that's that dumbass kickoff. And I'm pretty sure that shit I'm going to get used to it after a while. But, and I know they already had it in the XFL and all that other shit. But I'm not, I just give me back the old kickoff. And I'm fine. But other than that, I'm fine. I'm fine with it.
I think teams just have to figure out how to play it. You know what I mean? We just got to see more of it. Teams are gonna figure out. Look, Belichick figured out how to beat the old system, right? You get your kicker just to kick it down inside the 10-yard line, make him run it back. So they gonna find teams are gonna find ways to work around it. You just got to give it some time.
But that being said, you was telling the chat you got something you need to get off your chest. Talk to the world, bro.
Oh, the sports betting thing, man.
The biggest
I
scam of all scams.
I woke up this morning. I open up Instagram like I usually do. I use Instagram Instagram's 90% of my social media time. And, I open up Instagram and there's this guy that I follow. He's an MMA junkie. I get a lot of my MMA news from him. He's got some sort of insight. He usually has stuff out before I can find it anywhere else. Really good guy, runs a really good channel. I'm not going to put his name out there because I don't want people to blast him or anything, but, um, he always puts up his picks for his bets, and people look at that, they research that, and they're like, oh, this dude always wins. I'm gonna copy his bets and whatnot. And this dude put a $5,000 bet on a parlay for last night's UFC event, and he lost every single event. He lost every bout that he picked, he got wrong. And people were like calling for this man's head on Instagram to the point where this dude had to go on live and apologize to his followers. Like, oh, like, I'm so sorry. I had a bad pick. We'll get him next week. Sorry for the people that lost money and all this other shit. And for you to go out there and have the platform like he has, the dude's got like 200,000 followers. And to have to go out there on a platform and apologize to people because you got your bets wrong is absolutely fucking insane, right? Especially when it comes to the fight game. Like, it's two people locked in a cage. Shit happens. It's not like there's crazy analytics that go into it or anything else. And the fact that people are trying to cancel this dude and go after him and threaten violence against him because they lost their bet because that's what he told them to bet is absolutely fucking insane. That's just that's just crazy to me, dude. I just can't. I I'm so over the sports betting thing, man. They need to make it illegal again.
I agree.
I hate to break it to you, but that situation happens every day. Every so often, there's a particular YouTuber that I look up for like MLB bets because obviously he watches MLB every day. And when I put my little one or two bets in a week, my little $5 bets a week, I'm gonna tune into what he got to say and what his bets in. And usually, for the most part, put his input in. If I lose, I lose. If I win, I win. And if I do lose, I'm usually off by like one or two. But the amount of hate comments, I've seen death threats. I've seen all type of you stupid motherfucker. Call him the stupid R word, all type of shit. Like you
Yeah,
don't know
good catch. That won't
shit.
get us canceled.
Yeah. Yeah. So
That's just
yeah,
crazy
it's
to me,
just
man.
it's
Like,
just
and like
ridiculous.
that's just taking no accountability, right? Like everyone's like, oh, because of you, I lost this amount of money. Like no, you lost that amount of money because you bet and you lost. That's what
Hmm.
happens when you when when you bet, man. And if you think about, especially in a fight game with the odds, with it being, 1v1, um, if you copy the exact same bets that somebody else makes, you're lowering the odds of winning, right? Like maybe you're like, all right, maybe his take on Adesanya was really good. I'm going to take Adesanya, but I'm not like, if you just copy everyone else's bet side for side, everyone's going to lose. Right. So like I said, this guy's got like 200, he's got like 185,000 followers. All right. So if 185,000 people all bet, even if they just put $1 in and they bet all the exact same things as he did, 185,000 people just lost $1. So
And
use
when
the information to make your own decision. And if you lose, you lose. That's part of betting. You're not going to win every time. But if you're going to be that salty about it and you're going to be that pissed off that you're going after someone as a person and attacking them and threatening them violence and everything else because you didn't win your $35 parlay, then I'm going to be honest with you, man. You're a piece of shit and you just have zero accountability for your own shit.
and
And I just don't respect
I
that.
don't know who you talking about, but this is just in general speaking. Majority of those people that go on X or go on Instagram or go on Facebook or go on YouTube, a lot of them people who go out there and make these quote unquote free bets for the world, they working for these sports bets agencies, which means that they're putting these bets out so these sports books can win money. It's just
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like I said, 185,000 people. Think about it. If everybody betted $1, right? Everybody just put in a $1 bet on this entire list of parlays. That's $185,000 that you
hmm
just put in the DraftKings.
hmm it's all like Ronnie said in the chat, it's just one big ass scam. That's all sport. Don't get me wrong, you get the people who win, you got people who win $8,000 off of 2 cents and $1 million off of $10. And that shit happen every day, but it's the same percentage as somebody hitting the lottery.
Yeah, I mean,
It's the
it's
same
not a, it's not a,
fucking.
it's not a scam. You know what I mean? It's not like there's any direct influence into it, but like it's the same thing when you go to a casino, you put a $20 bill into a slot machine. You're either gonna win or you're gonna lose.
Now the
That's
reason
why
why,
it's called gambling.
now the reason
Yeah.
why I say it's a scam, I think gambling is a scam just because it's almost like a pyramid scheme type of thing, right?
Well, it's because the advertising and the marketing of it makes it
Yes,
seem like,
easy.
because like you see an ad for DraftKings in the middle of a football game and it
hmm
makes it seem like you're guaranteed to win thousands of dollars, right?
And
It's because of the marketing. But if you understand what it actually is, it's literally just gambling. That's all it is. And gambling, you're going to win or you're going to lose. There is no in between. There is no, you don't have the probability of winning and the probability of,
like
it's a
for
50-50 shot.
for example, right? You watch a YouTube video, or you watch any of these people like I was saying that's that is sponsored. Speaking of sponsor, hey, fucking FanDuel, DraftKings, fucking Fanatics, fucking any of y'all motherfuckers, Vivid Seats, anybody. Hey, if y'all need a, if y'all trying to sponsor somebody, hey, we here for it. Hey, we'll represent
Oh, we
y'all.
gonna become part of the problem?
Hey, me and Rodney already part of the problem, so it don't even fucking matter.
Y'all crazy, man. Listen, I'll go to a blackjack table and I'll gamble all night. Don't get me wrong, but I ain't in that sports betting shit, man.
Hey, FanDuel got the casino. DraftKings got the casino.
Nah. I told you, man. I'm one of those. I'm one of those people. If I'm gonna gamble, I need to gamble with cash, man. Being able just to deposit $20 into my account and do it, that shit's too easy. I gotta physically put the money in the machine.
But yeah. But when people who sponsor to these places, what's the first thing they do before they start their content? Oh, listen. Go to Prize Pick, put my promo code down. I just won $100 off of 3 picks yesterday. Here's my picks for today. So they're making it seem like winning is easy. Then you get on these shits and you go off like for example, right? Past 2 weeks, I probably put in probably like five like I'll say I put in like 8 $5 bets in the past 2 weeks. 6 of them was off by one fucking pick. So in total, I only lost what like $30, but in reality, I should have won like 6,000. That's just the reality of it. You be off one off every time, especially people blaming people for shit like UFC, which it only takes one punch, it only takes one fucking kick, one submission. Baseball, there's 162 games. Everybody not gonna win 162 games. You rolling the dice. See, certain shit is easier. College football is easier to bet on. Football is kind of easier to bet on. Shit like that. But when you betting on shit like basketball, baseball, combat sports is hard because anything can happen at any moment. And there's so many games in basketball and baseball. You gotta blame at the end of the day, you gotta blame yourself for betting. Don't blame the person that you took his bets from. Don't blame. That's what I had to do. I had to stop blaming the Phillies. I had to blame myself for fucking betting on the Phillies. That's my dumb ass fault. I know they kinda suck, and I still bet on them. You know? That's just the reality of betting. I try not to let that shit get to me no more, cause it is what it is. Cause you wanna know why? I'm a be mad and say fuck fanatics, and in 3 days, I'm a fucking put on a $5 bet just because I like gambling. That's just the reality of
That's more responsible. Like going in and putting in a $5 bet, once a week on a parlay or something. Like I don't have it's the people that are like you guys. Like I said, I don't sports bet, so
But
but
I had
y'all the type that go out there and put a $5 bet on some like fucking Russian table tennis player.
nah.
I got a buddy man that he'll put money on anything that's
My
there. If it has a high odd, he'll be like, I'll put $5
shout out
on
to my
this.
cousin Chris. My cousin Chris bet on Japanese baseball, Vietnamese baseball, all type of shit. Like I'm not touching that.
Now I'm a friendly wager type of guy, man. I'm all for like, yo, I
Oh
bet you
yeah,
$20 Dallas wins
yeah,
tonight. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
bet
That's a
heads up
classic
stuff like
bet.
that. I'll put stuff like if I win I get a jersey from a player. I'll do stuff like that.
Nah, I had to dumb down though, because my gambling addiction was bad. I'll lose $60, $70 in one sit and trying to win my money back. So I had to stop doing that shit. I'm in a hole. Fuck that. So I'm a still gamble, but I'm gonna be respectful about it. I ain't gonna burn my pockets. Fuck that.
You still owe your boy a jersey too. Don't forget.
Listen. I got that handle. Listen. See, you fucked up the surprise because I'm alright. Well, break it. I'm about to give you two. I'm gonna give you one home and one away for your patience. See, I was gonna just bless you with the two jerseys, but since you wanna fucking bring it up, yeah, you getting two jerseys, my boy.
I just like bringing it up because I still can't believe your dumbass bet on Arizona.
What jersey you about to get?
He about to get a CJ Stroud Ohio State home and away jersey. I'm thinking about giving him the black one.
Oh yeah, you weren't on the
Yeah,
podcast back then.
he
It
wasn't
was when
there.
Kyler Murray came back and he's like, I bet you they gonna win 6 games, and they got smoked 2 weeks in a row, and he goes, oh well, they ain't winning 6 games.
Yeah. Yeah, I owe him a jersey and a hat. We gonna get that to you. We gonna get that to you. Um, but yeah. Let's get on to the meat and bones of the show though. As always, we had 304 last night. 305,
3 or 4, 3 or 5.
304. Um, as first, I'll let y'all take it at first because y'all more into the UFC rings. of this thing, and then I put my point of view out. So, Colin Rod, what's y'all opinions on the show last night?
Well, uh, it wasn't the outcome I expected. That's for sure. Overall, the card itself was great.
It was banger.
It definitely was one of those cards that you look at who's on the card and you get a little worried. Not too many super big names. Outside of the title fight, there wasn't really any big fight. A couple kind of played out in how certain divisions are going to work out, but there wasn't any really big fight. But all those guys that fought last night, almost every single fight was just a banger. The Dan Hooker fight, that was a great fight.
Nah, the co-main was electric. That co-main was brawling.
Yeah, that was the what's his name there? Fran something.
Yeah, France.
Yeah, I forget his name. I like the UFC's done a really good job lately of taking fighters that are from wherever they hold the event and having them on the card. There were a lot of fighters. Most of them were from New Zealand, but obviously they don't fight in New Zealand. They fight in Australia. So there was a lot of New Zealand fighters, which it's pretty cool to see a lot of these guys. It was either their first pay-per-view or they're, ranked outside of the top 10, 15, 12 guys like that get to fight on the main stage, in a homecoming fight, which was pretty cool. I really like the fact that the UFC does that. But the title fight did not go the way I thought it would. Izzy was tearing him up in that second round, man. Izzy was landing at will. But shout out to DPP. He did his thing. He hit Izzy with that shot, and Izzy wasn't able to get it, gave up his back and got choked out. It is what it is. They kind of settled their beef after the fight.
The only problem I have with that card is the last prelim. It ended terribly. Like they called a submission and he didn't even tap out. That's bad for business.
Dude, this was, of all my years, it's happened a few times before, but not in a card that I've watched. I had never seen a judge get kicked out mid-event. I've seen a few times where, like, after the card, Dana White will come out in the press conference and be like, yeah, this guy's not coming back. But in the Tua fight, this dude scored it 30-27. And like it was an obvious, like there was no doubt about the fact that like the fight should not have been scored 30-27. And they relieved him of his duties right after the fight, right after his card got put out, because it was a split decision win for Rosenstrike, and they instantly, like, as soon as the fight was over, John Anik came out and we're just like, yep, we're getting word now that like he has been relieved of his duties for the remainder of the card.
Yeah.
I don't know what that guy was seeing. I thought it was a close fight. I definitely could see a scenario in which a split decision was the way to go. It wasn't unanimous. They were going back and forth. I could see how you would score it for Tua to have won the fight, but not 30-27. I mean, that means that he would have won all 3 rounds dominating, and he did not do that.
Mm-hmm.
Any casual fan watches that fight and knows that he didn't dominate him like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't. That was an interesting thing to see. But I think there was only like 3 or 4 decisions on the whole card. A lot of finishes.
A lot of submissions and knockouts. A lot of knockouts.
Yeah, what was the Eager, Eager, I forgot exactly what his name is. I don't have it in front of me.
Homeboy that fought that Chinese dude put Buddy on his face.
Yeah, he hit him with that knee up against the cage and just folded him like a fucking lawn chair. That shit was gnarly.
He was legit sleeping for about 20 seconds. Like, he won't wake up. Like,
yeah, no, they got his ass.
Christ. I got a question for you guys. Is Azania done?
No. I mean, Adesanya's I mean, he went on he had 18 fights in like 5 years or something like that. I mean, Izzy came on the scene in 2018 and this was his 19th fight. So I mean, he's been one of the most active guys we've ever seen in the UFC. And of those 18 fights he's been in, I think it's like 17 of them are title fights, whether it's to defend or whatever the belt. So I mean, he took the year off. He looked really good out there until he got tagged. I mean, I even put it in the chat. In that second round, he was laser focused, man. He was bobbing, he was weaving, he was missing like Duplessis just could not hit him. But Duplessis, he reminds me of GSP in the fact that like he's a guy that he's not going to get tired, and he's just as dangerous in round 5 as he is in round 1. I don't think he's a great fighter. I think Izzy 3-4 years ago probably smokes him. If this fight happened when it was supposed to happen, I think Izzy would have won. But shout to him. He is the champ. His last 3 fights, he's finished Israel Adesanya, Sean Strickland, and Forrest Whitaker. So I mean, for you to your last 3 fights to finish those 3 guys, that's no cakewalk. So he definitely deserved the shot. I saw something this morning about Alex Pereira said he's going to come back down to 185 for one last time to challenge him for the belt. And obviously, I think we all know if that fight were to happen, Alex Pereira is going to kill him. But Duplessis. But Alex his fight just got announced, so he's not going to be coming down to middleweight anytime soon, at least. I don't know, man. I don't know what's next for Izzy. I don't see Izzy as the gatekeeper type, so I don't know if he's just going to keep. I don't really see him going and fighting without the belt implication. But I mean, he held the belt for so long. He lost the belt, got the belt back, then lost it again, and now he lost his chance to get it back. So no matter what, he's got to fight 1, maybe even 2 more. He's got to fight a 5 through 10 and then another 5 to 1 contender to get back to that title. I think.
My
And
problem is
I don't know if he's got it.
my problem is he's 36 years old. I mean, I get Alex. He's on the older side too, but
I think he's 36 also.
yeah, it's just his
The thing is,
last
Izzy hasn't really taken a lot of damage in his career up until the last couple fights.
yeah.
But I just don't know if he's the gatekeeper type, man.
Yeah, nah, he got too much ego to be a gatekeeper. A, a gatekeeper is almost like a team player in a team sport. Like you got to be willing to accept the fact that you the guy that's gonna fight the up and comings or the next possible contenders, and if you win, you win, and if you lose, hey, you done passed on the torch. I don't think he's ready for that. In his mind, I feel like he still thinks like he's the best, as he should.
I think he felt that way up until last night.
Hey, he was talking hot shit, but I thought that shit was gonna end out in the knockout. I'm not gonna lie, cause they both was aggressive for like 3 rounds. Like
Well,
one
like I said,
person,
in that second round, man, Izzy was tagging him. I mean, Izzy. One thing that I'll give Adesanya, even though he did get choked out in the 4th. The one thing I'll give Adesanya is that like Adesanya tore that dude's body up.
yeah,
He landed like 98% of shots to the body. Cause like he knew that like DPP's whole thing is just like stamina longevity, right? Like he doesn't get tired. He's able to fight while wounded. Like he can just keep the pressure and the pace up that a lot of people can't. So Izzy was like, all right, instead of headhunting and putting him on the aggressive to make him come to me, every time he steps towards me, I'm hitting him in the body. Boom, boom. And he was just, and like he looked like a boxer out there for a little while, man. He kept his hands up, feet tight, and he would just 1-2, 1-2, 1-2
Now,
to the body over and over and over
where
again.
do you think he went wrong?
I think in that fourth round, he got a little too loose. He let DPP kind of move towards him more. He started moving back. He was really hitting him when he was able to move him forward. But I think I honestly think, man, I don't know if you guys watch the fight. Um, I honestly think that fourth round he got clipped right in the top of the head while moving away. And he decided right then and there, he did the Max Holloway. He like pointed to the mat, and he just didn't move out of the way enough for one of those shots, and I think it rung his bell. And then DPP hit him 2 more times running around the cage, and then once Izzy went down, I think he just didn't. The cobwebs were too thick, and he just. I mean, the the submission finish wasn't impressive, right? Like it was.
Yeah.
He didn't have to fight for the position or anything. He literally just. Izzy was down on his knee, and Duplessis just got on top of him, put his arm around, rolled him around, and that was the fight. So like the choke itself wasn't impressive, but to keep the pressure on Izzy after getting tagged the way that he did and get him to the point where he was able to do that, that was pretty impressive.
Okay, before we move on, I wanna shout out that one particular site. I ain't giving out the name, cause yeah. Just
Oh
shout out.
yeah, yeah.
shout,
Yeah.
shout out to that league. I've been watching that. I've been on. I haven't missed not one Cowboys game for about 6 years now, due to that site. It
Yeah,
got
I'm glad you
everything.
I'm glad you put me on that. Yeah.
It got everything you need. I done put Pablo on. I done put Rico on. We good, baby.
Yeah,
Listen,
yeah.
free 99, man. Listen, I believe in the free. Alright?
And so I was watching it last night because I was at work last night when the fight was on. So I'm watching the fight at work. I got my phone set up in the office, my AirPod in. I'm watching over there. My boy's like, yo, how you watching the fight? I'm like, oh, I got a link. He's like, yo, let me get it. I'm like, nah, bro, I ain't give it. Cause I'm like, the more people I give it out to, the higher
Yep.
chance it's going to get flagged. I'm like, you can watch it right now. You can watch it with me. That's
Yeah.
fine, but I ain't going to send you the link, bro.
There's only 3 people who got this prestigious link, and that's you, Rodney, and my boy Shy. Anybody else? I don't know what you're talking about. I can't do that because it's gonna get shut down.
I don't got Nathan.
Listen,
I don't got
listen.
Nathan. They
Yeah,
listen to
you know what we talking about.
I could, I couldn't, I couldn't, I couldn't, it wouldn't work for me at first. Cause I just hit the link and
Yeah,
it wouldn't run at first, but cause I was doing it on my phone. So I had to I had to open it in a different area,
yeah,
you know?
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Hey man, just quick
Yeah,
shot.
that shit
Hey,
was legit. And like, it was like, definitely like, I don't know their system or anything, but it was definitely one of the, like cleanest streams.
listen. That the quality is money.
Oh
Only
yeah, yeah.
the only problem I have with it is that it's the delay time. So like, let's say I'm watching Red Zone on my TV and I'm watching on the football season, I'm a nerd. I ain't gonna lie. I got Red Zone on, or unless Cowboys is playing. But if the Cowboys not playing, I got Red Zone on the big TV. I got I got one game on my phone, and then I might pop up my laptop and have another game on that shit. So I'm watching 3 games at once. The only problem is like it's like a 10 second delay time. But I'll take that delay time over fucking anything. I don't care.
Yeah. That's like
Free.
when I watch a football game, like I think it was the Atlanta game when we won on that
Yep,
the
yep,
onside.
yep,
So I'm watching the game at home and I'm
yep,
like watching it. I'm like, oh shit. And I got the notification on my phone that the Cowboys
yep,
won
yeah,
before it even happened on the screen. So now when I watch, cause I don't have cable at home, I use other streaming services and stuff. So there is a little bit of a delay. So now when I'm at home, I turn my ESPN notifications off.
The beautiful thing about that site is if you got a Fire Stick, anything like that, it's friendly. You can use it. It it goes beyond just the phone.
God.
So yeah, man. Hey, if y'all don't have a site like that, I hope you guys find one, cause you can't get this one, and I'm sorry, you just can't. But there's other shit you can use. It's not this one, not at this quality, of course. I've used other ones, and it's just trash. Speaking of that, the Atlanta game, it's funny that you said that because I had the same shit. I'm watching it on my phone because it wasn't on TV. So I'm watching it on my phone, and I'm pissed off, like, yo, the fuck, somebody. I had put on. Damn, I hope we get this offside. I said, what's the chances of us getting this offside kick? Somebody comment, y'all got it. I'm like, damn, you can't do that to me. And then wow.
Honestly, I think even worse than the Atlanta game was that fucking Detroit game because like the last 30 seconds of the game took 20 minutes.
Yep.
So like everyone's like, "Oh, y'all lost. Oh, they got it." I'm like, "What's happening?" Like I'm getting my ass kicked in the kitchen. I ain't got time to watch it. I'm selling 30-minute tickets trying to keep my guys alive back there. And like when I'm at work, if the Cowboys are playing, I'll say it straight out, man. If any other game, I'll be fine. If the Cowboys are playing and
Yep.
I'm at work, you're getting 60%.
Yep.
You're getting 60% of me. I'm paying attention to that game.
Yep.
Football's my life. I named my
Yep.
son after a Dallas Cowboy. I ain't missing that
Yep.
shit.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
but I was like, come on, man, just let it fucking be over.
I don't, I could miss any fucking game. I can't remember the last, even when I was actively working, I can't tell you the last physical Dallas Cowboys game I missed because I will drop everything and I will watch and pay attention to my Cowboys play. I don't,
No, the last game I fully missed was the Arizona game. I didn't watch
yeah,
that game.
that game was shit. You missed a good
No,
one.
no,
That was,
not this year's, last year's.
okay. Yeah, because I will go to the
I know we
bathroom
got
real
torched on
quick.
like 4th and 18 and we gave it up.
Actually, I lied. The last Cowboys game I missed, and that's because I really don't watch Monday Night Football like that until like we started doing the podcast, was 2019 Cowboys versus the Giants. That's the last Cowboys game I missed. And I remember that shit vividly because that was a game where there was a bird on the field and they almost hit the shit.
Yep.
But yeah, shout out to that. I almost said the fucking site, but shout out to them. Um, yeah. I got a question for you guys. Um, I've been thinking about this for a couple days. So, when y'all like a player and y'all defend a player, is it because y'all honestly think he's a great player, or you just hold some sort of bias, or both? Like for example, Dak Prescott. Do you think Dak Prescott always been elite? Like I already know your answer, but for people who don't know, did you always think Dak was a good QB coming out of college, or because you did the same thing with Romo, or is because you the QB, so you're going to stick with your guns because you know how hard the QB position is, so you're going to protect your QB.
I think so with Romo, I had some reservations when Romo first came out. But that's only because even while Bledsoe was out on the field, Dallas had some really mediocre quarterback play for the last few years. So I was just like, I don't know if this is really going to be an upgrade. I don't really know what we were going to look like. I didn't really know anything about Romo at the time because I was into college football, but that was back when I was a big Ducks fan. So I was still
Right.
an Ohio State fan, but the Ducks were my team, and that's only because I like Darren Thomas. But I wasn't really I wasn't as into like the background on players as I was as I got a little bit older. But when Romo got injured in the preseason and Dak came out, I knew in that first preseason game when I saw Dak come out, he had that chip on his shoulder. You know what I mean? He had that like this is my responsibility now. Win or lose, I've got to do what I've got to do for this team. and I became a Dak fan right then and there. And like even more so than Zeke, because like we knew Zeke was going to be a stud, right? And I called it right in that preseason game. I was like, Dak Prescott is going to be, he's going to be somebody in this league. And I've defended Dak since day one of his rookie year. And that's why I told Roddy in the chat. I was like, listen, man, we could banter all day and say some bullshit and crazy takes and everything else. If you disrespect Dak Prescott to me, I'm putting your ass on blast. I'm going to get real personal real quick.
All right,
Ain't
all right. How good of a quarterback do you think Dak Prescott is?
how good of a quarterback do I
Do you
think
think
Prescott is?
do you think he's elite, great, good,
Absolutely.
decent?
I think he's elite.
I think he got a lot better. I don't think he's elite yet though.
Now, I'm not one of those guys who's like, oh, Dak Prescott's the best quarterback in the league. No, that's not true. He's probably not even number two, right? Like, I'm not going to be that guy. Are there guys better than Dak on the field? Yeah, Dak has his issues. He's got some overthrow issues. He's got some decision making issues. But as much as it doesn't matter to a lot of people, and Isaiah can back me up on this, I am very, very big on intangibles at a professional level. Dak has the intangibles that you can't. He is the greatest leader in a locker room in the NFL.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's the best quarterback in the league, but if you look at the quarterback position and if not a coach, if you own a team, Dak Prescott is the model for a player that you want on your team. He's not a diva. He's not a shit talker. He doesn't go, he's not going to go out like Zach Wilson did and blame the defense, even though the defense had 3 turnovers and you scored 3 points in a game. Dak is the guy. He'll take all the responsibility. He'll go out there and he will put himself on the line every single play. They could be down 60 points and he's going to be playing like it's 0-0. The media doesn't get to him. He doesn't, I think it was last season, the season before, they were asking him something. He goes, listen, the team gets enough media coverage as it is. I'm not here to talk about me. He's a natural leader. And to me, that means something at a professional level because like that kind of humility and being humble at that level is just not something you see, particularly in the quarterback position. Because the quarterback position, it's the most important one on the NFL field, right? It's the most important position.
Oh, you could go first, Rodney.
I was gonna say I agree with everything you saying, but like you're not wrong. Feel me? I I ain't think Dak was really that gonna be that good of a quarterback, but he grew on me over the years. He did get better. He is a great leader and all of that. But the thing to me, I think he's a great quarterback. But the thing that's keeping him from being elite to me is the fact that he don't got that kill switch in him. He don't got that killer instinct. He don't like I don't know because it's plenty of times we seen Dak do anything and everything any great quarterback. But when it comes down to the clutch, he can't finish.
Yeah, that's been his biggest drawback his whole career is that he's a fundamental guy, right? He's not the guy that's gonna take he's not gonna take the risk. He doesn't have that risk it all mentality, right? He's gonna try to be safe and get it done the right way. I see what you mean. He just doesn't have that killer instinct in him.
Like that's why I be fucking with y'all when I be saying Dak in the top 5 quarterback in the NFC and whatnot. I'll be like, Dak is a good quarterback, and that's why I be putting this Jalen Hurts thing in there. I'll be like, Jalen Hurts went to the Super Bowl his second year as a full-time starter. Dak Prescott been in this team for years, hasn't even made it past the first round of the playoffs. Well, made it past the first round like twice.
Here's my thing on that, and I'm
Yeah, but you can't base it off of that though. It's a team sport.
I I was more of a Dak fan coming out of college than I am since he's been in the pros, and he was a monster of Mississippi State. Murdered Bama. I will never forget that game. He drove a unranked team to the number 2 team in the nation. He will always have my respect for that, and I was happy as hell when he dropped in the draft because he had off the field issues and he came to us. But throughout the years, I've learned how to appreciate Dak Prescott to the nth degree. After his injury, after he fucking shattered his ankle, he's just been a different player.
And like you're talking about a guy that's been in the league for 8 years now, and he still continues to grow. How many
Um
quarterbacks have you seen by year 5? That's just who they are, right? He just gets better and better and better.
um
And that's the thing. You talking about a team sport. I understand it's a team sport, but the Dallas Cowboys also have a Super Bowl caliber team. At least 6 of his 8 seasons, he's been the starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys.
But he hasn't had a proper run game in the last 5 years. I mean, I'm looking at the stats right now against that Green Bay wildcard game. All right. Jordan Love, 16 for 21, 272, 3 TDs. Phenomenal game by Jordan Love. Aaron Jones, 21 carries, 118 yards, 3 TDs. All right. Dak goes 41 for 60, 403 yards, 3 TDs, and he had the 2 picks, right? The picks are what we're going to count against them. All right. Romeo Dobbs, 6 receptions, 151 yards, touchdown. CD Lamb, 9 receptions, 110 yards. And then Aaron Jones, 21 carries, 118 yards, 3 TDs against the third best rushing defense in the NFL, fourth best last year. Okay. Tony Pollard. Green Bay was like the 9th best rush defense in the league last year. Tony Pollard, 15 carries, 56 yards, and a 1 yard touchdown. You can't do it all.
Here's my
You
thing.
can't do it all.
Here's my thing. Ronnie just said Dak isn't that accurate. I wouldn't say that. Dak has become probably top 3 accurate QBs in the league today.
I ain't say he
Unless
wasn't.
it's a deep ball. Unless it's a deep
I
ball.
ain't
Yeah.
say he wasn't accurate. I just said he ain't have that kill switch.
And
He
and 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 to be fair, here's my I'm on record saying many of times the reason why we keep coming short of the Super Bowl is because Dak won't go into that press conference. Or he don't even gotta go into the press conference. He don't hold his teammates accountable. And I get it. He's the ultimate captain. Everything is on me. I get it, but that only works to a certain extent. Only way people are going to get better if you hold them accountable. If they think they're doing good when they're not doing good, they're going to keep being that.
The ones that get me are the ones where it's not necessarily his fault. Like I remember he missed that deep ball to Brandon Cooks, and he comes out and he goes, "Oh, if I would have thrown that ball a little shorter, he would have walked into the end zone." But that ball hit Brandon Cooks in the hands, and he dropped it. So
He
like you can take the blame if you miss him by a mile, but if you put that ball out and your receiver gets both of their hands on that ball and then drops it, that's not on the quarterback, bro.
he he blamed that game, that playoff game on him. Yes, he had 2 picks, but he counter react that with fucking 400 fucking passing yards. The
And don't
defense,
forget the pick six that he threw was off the hands. It's
the
not like it was just like a
defense,
bad throw. It was a deflected pick six.
the defense gave up
I don't
damn
think
near 600
deflected
yards. The defense
deflected
gave up six
interceptions.
hundred yards.
If
I'm
deflected
Dak Prescott.
interceptions should not count on a quarterback, dude.
I don't know. I don't
If it
know.
hits your receiver in the chest and it bounces up and the
Then,
defender catches it, that's
cause
not the quarterback's fault.
this is why I say I don't know. It's because let's say Dak Prescott throws CD Lamb a 60-yard bomb. He catches it, and CD Lamb fumbles the ball. He still is counted for those passing yards, even though CD Lamb just fumbled. That's
Yeah,
all.
but CD fumbled it.
But if he still counted for those passing yards, he should still get. He still should get hit with the pick. But
Or it
it's
should be
like,
a separate stat line. It should be like tipped
yeah,
interceptions versus regular interceptions.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Same thing how with forced fumbles, because you can get a forced fumble stat, but somebody else got the recovered fumble. So yeah,
Yeah, and my thing is like when you look at fumbles, did somebody punch it out or did you just drop the shit? Because how many times
yeah.
you seen, especially a running back, run through the line and they just bump into somebody and they drop the shit? That's not a forced fumble. You just weren't holding on to the ball.
Like my thing with that, like your defense giving up 600 yards. That's not on you. You need to be like, listen, our defense played like shit. Not singling nobody out. Listen, our defense as a whole played like shit. I made a couple bad throws, got a couple picks, yes. But my defense gave up 600 yards. What the fuck am I supposed to do with that?
I mean, you look at that Green Bay game, man. Tony Pollard had 15 carries, 56 yards. Dak had 6 carries, 45 yards. And then
Like,
CeeDee Lamb, 110 receiving. Gallup, 103 receiving. Ferguson, 93 receiving with 3 touchdowns. And then Brandon Cooks, 6 for 47 yards.
and that's not even counting all the drop passes CD and Cooks and the rest of the squad had that game. So it's like,
I mean, Gallup had 6 receptions for 150 yards. He
cause
was targeted 11 times.
think about it, CD Lamb didn't start get going for real until the second half. The first half, everybody like, yo, what the fuck CD Lamb do? He's in the sideline crying and shit, fucking being the
CeeDee
wide
dropped his
receiver
first 3
dude.
targets.
Yep.
His first 3 targets bounced right off of his hands.
Yep. So it's like, that's my only gripe on Dak right now. But is Dak elite? Hell yes. Hell yes.
And to say
Is
Dak's not top 5 in the NFC, that's just disrespectful, man.
He's definitely top 5. Probably top 3 now.
so now I'm gonna pose the
He's
same
top 2 in
question.
the NFC.
He probably won in the NFC, honestly.
Yeah, but you can make an argument that there might be one other guy better than him in the NFC. But
Who
in the
would that be?
NFL, he's top 5. In the NFC, he's top 2.
In the NFC, who's better than Dak though?
Matthew Stafford.
No,
I honestly, Isaiah, I ain't gonna lie, man. I actually I agree with Rodney on that one.
I don't know.
I think if you put Matt Stafford in a Dallas jersey and he comes out week 1 with the weapons that Dak has, Matt Stafford gonna light the fucking field up.
If we talking career, career for career, maybe. But if we talking at this point of their careers, no,
I'm saying.
honestly, I don't
Cooper
know.
Nakua, Cooper Cup could stay healthy. That's solid.
But then
They got a
no,
couple young receivers over there that's putting in work.
I personally don't know. It could be true, but I don't. I don't know. I don't know.
The problem is that Stafford
I
and
don't know.
Dak they're 2 different types of quarterbacks though, right? Like mobility wise, like Stafford, you don't have the mobility that you get out of Dak.
Yeah.
To
So like
say,
that's an element of and like that's part of the reason with Romo. Romo was mobile side to side, right? Bootlegs, getting out of the pocket, moving around, but he wasn't a lateral runner, right? Like
when,
Dak,
when we
I take
say
Dak at the 1 yard line just like you would Jalen Hurts. You know what I mean? Like that's a big fucking dude.
when we say the
Help me
best,
out though.
are we talking about QB ability throwing wise, or are we just talking about intangibles just as a whole package? If we talking whole package, I might take Dak, but if we talking about throwing arm ability, I take Stafford.
No, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about at the pure raw cut and dry quarterback ability to get the ball downfield. I take Stafford. Overall, if you look at everything, mobility, intangibles, all of that kind of stuff, then Dak's the best quarterback in the NFC, and he's probably top 3 in the league.
If you need to beat the Stars in the NFC Championship to go to the Super Bowl, you taking Matthew Stafford or you taking Dak Prescott?
I'm taking Dak Prescott.
I'm taking Dak
Yeah.
Prescott.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
I
I'm
can
not.
see that.
If you rewind the tape, Matthew Stafford wasn't all that stellar in that Super Bowl run. You got to think Odell, yak ability. You got to think Cooper Cup being the most unguardable wide receiver on this fucking planet in that
And don't
in
forget
that
about Aaron
time.
Donald on defense.
Yeah, Aaron Donald. You had Ramsey. Like he had a lot of fucking help. And help is what you need to win the Super Bowl. You need a lot of
Hmm
fucking help. Don't get me wrong. But
So you think Dak Prescott would have won that Super Bowl with that same team?
yes, yes, yes. I'll put it to you like this. Dak had 4,000 yards last year. If you give
Yeah.
him Puka and Cup last year, he might break 45, close to a 5K. If you
I don't
give
know.
him
It's hard to
Puka.
judge that because he did have CD who had like 17. So like he had
But
the
hear
guy
me
that
out
had all the
though.
yards.
Hear me out though. He had Puka and Cup though. Essentially, only thing Dak has is CD because the connection with Cooks isn't all that.
I'm saying Gallup and Cooks though together.
No, Gallup's
Well,
not.
although I think we talked about this on the podcast before though. Everyone can mention like, oh, Dak's got CD.
Yeah.
So just to put it in perspective for you, last season, CeeDee Lamb had 1,749 receiving yards with 12 touchdowns. Okay. Second place on the Dallas Cowboys team was Jake Ferguson with 761 yards. So you're talking there's 1,000-yard difference between the number one and the number two receiver on the team. If any of those guys would have stepped up, if Gallup had 418 yards on the season.
Terrible.
So like if any of those, if you're talking Brandon Cooks, Michael Gallup, Jalen Tolbert, any of those other wide receiver guys crept up and got to that 900 yard, they would have gone the distance.
You gotta think about it. Who did Matthew Stafford have outside of Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp, who missed half of the season?
Yeah, you could say that, but that Rams team wasn't doing anything regardless. That's a bad ball club regardless.
They also had a running game.
Yeah. Kyron
But like
Williams
Puka Nacua had 1,400 yards. Cooper Kupp had 700. So like that gap is closer.
He missed half the season.
He missed 5 games. Yeah.
He almost eclipsed 800. So if he play a full season, that's 2,000. That's 2,000-yard receivers.
And Matt Stafford had 3,900 yards. But
400 between Ferguson and CD.
Yeah, but you also have to look. You have to add again. It's a team sport. You got to be able to run the ball, right? Kyron Williams had 1,100 yards on 12 games, and Tony Pollard literally had 1,001 yard in 17 games.
He needed that last game.
Yeah, that's funny as hell.
Sorry, he finished with 1,005 yards. 1,005 yards on 252 carries, 17 games, 252 carries, 1,000 yards. Okay, Kyron Williams played 12 games, 228 carries, 1,100 yards, 12 touchdowns versus Tony Pollard 6. So if you're getting that kind of production out of your backfield, you could do that. Also, the problem that Dallas had is that nobody gave a fuck about Tony Pollard. When Kyron Williams came back, you had to be like, do we stop Puka? Do we stop Kupp? Do we stop Williams? Somebody getting open. In Dallas, they were like, if you stop CeeDee Lamb, these dudes ain't really going to do much to you.
The problem is you can't stop CD. So these teams was fucked. But no, to Cook's respect, towards the end of the season he started to click a little bit, but it was a little too late.
Well, that's because people started doubling with a safety coverage to stop Lamb.
Yeah.
But you double Brandon Cooks. Well, what are they gonna do? You hand the ball off, Tony Pollard's running into the nose tackle. Like Jalen Tolbert's just gonna be like, nah, I want to play DB and just bounce everything out of bounds.
Or fucking be offsides, line up 10 yards at fucking up the fucking field and shit like he never.
And Ferguson's got solid ass hands, but he ain't quick. He ain't burning nobody. He a bully.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Our offense, like personnel wise, kind of ass. Like our defense is what we make that's where it's been the last couple of years. Our defense is where we make the money at. You know, well,
because Dallas has always been Dallas is a move the ball around, eat the clock type of team. We're not we don't want a quick score every single time. So we don't need a bunch of aces out there. We just need people that we can get the ball to. I mean, remember that game last year? Dak he was like 9 for 10, 80 something yards, and he had completed a pass to 9 different people.
And speaking of the kill switch, while it's on my mind, I wouldn't say he don't have a kill switch. You know how many times in his career where he had to come back in the fourth quarter down 14 points, multiple scores, just to even make it a one possession game, and a lot of the times he get there, then he may throw a pick or something. But to get to that point, he had to put in so much work. People, why he playing so hard with 8 minutes to go, down fucking 20 to fucking 10. Next thing you know, it's 20 to 17.
That Atlanta game's a perfect example because like they were down 17 with like 6 minutes left, and Dak was like, "Oh, all right, y'all gonna start softening up the coverage because you think you got this in the bag. Watch this shit.
He did the same thing that season against the Giants. He did the same exact thing against the Giants. So it's like,
And that's my point
And
exactly.
and I know it doesn't matter because it didn't happen, but if Dak's fourth quarter against Green Bay in the playoffs, if that would have been his third quarter instead of the
yeah,
fourth quarter, Dallas would have won that game.
That's
yeah.
my point exactly. He
They
don't
were
got
down
that.
28, and this dude was just like he went three
But we
touchdown
just,
drives in a row of 60 yards or more.
He could do all of that shit prior to the end of the game when it really matters. He didn't do it when it counted.
But
You
he
talking
doesn't give up.
about
That's the
after
thing.
he did it in the Super Bowl. You talking about this nigga Patrick Mahomes won the AFC Championship in 13 seconds. Come on
that's just
now.
because he's the best player in this generation. We
Come
talking
on.
about a generational player, man. Hey,
Yeah,
listen,
I'm officially at the point with Patrick Mahomes where like you can't. Anytime you talk about you could talk about all 31 starting quarterbacks in the league. You cannot compare any of them
yes,
to, oh, well, Mahomes did it with no receivers. Oh, Mahomes did it with Kadarius Toney and Valdez Scantling. Mahomes is a completely different brand of player. And by the time that Patrick Mahomes' career is done and over, Patrick Mahomes will be the undisputed greatest
he's
quarterback to ever play the
surpassing
game.
Brady. He's for sure. He's halfway to Brady right now, halfway into his career. He already got 3 rings. He already got MVPs. Like he's already he's way and above his competition already against
Now,
what
I don't like all the
mediocre wide
flashy shit.
receivers. Yeah,
I don't like that like throwing behind the back shit and stuff because I think it's not bad for the game. I just don't like it. But
that shit's
you're talking
cool as
like
fuck.
the Chiefs are like the Chiefs are even right now as a diehard Cowboys fan. The Chiefs right now they have a really like legitimate chance to three-peat.
Yes, yes.
It's not even like they need a bunch of stuff to go wrong and they might be able to squeak it by. Like they have a
Yeah,
legitimate chance to
yeah.
three-peat.
They don't picked up a rookie that
Unless they play
runs
Dallas in the bowl. They
that
play
that
Dallas in the bowl. We
runs
smacking that ass, but
Worthy runs faster than Tyreek Hill. Imagine what Mahomes gonna do with Worthy. Like Rice is gonna when he come back from suspension, his second year. Fucking Hollywood Brown, hopefully he heals up. He's an okay wide receiver. But the point is, all 3 of those wide receivers is an automatic upgrade from last year's receiving core.
the reason I'm gonna tell you the reason right now why Mahomes is gonna go down better than Brady. Okay, Mahomes won his back-to-back Super Bowl with Kadarius Toney and Valdez Scantling, and Brady couldn't win with Randy Moss.
Same.
Mm,
Brady won back to back with Troy Brown and
But he
motherfucker.
had Randy Moss and couldn't win, and Patrick Mahomes had Kadarius
mm,
Toney and won the Super Bowl against one of the best defenses we've ever seen overall. That is a true generational talent.
that's a good point. I didn't really think about that.
And I get, okay, all right, Moss was a little out of his prime. They went undefeated in the regular season.
Moss wasn't a little out of his prime. Moss was definitely getting over 1,500 yards a season still in New England.
Nah, he was still in his prime in New England for
No,
sure.
but I'm saying like he wasn't 27. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, like he wasn't 100. He may have been 90%, which is still better than any other receiver on the field at the time, but he wasn't 100%. But Brady couldn't get the job done against a lesser defense with a much better wide receiver support staff. You guys had a solid run game. You guys had Gronk. You had Moss,
Y'all
and you
defense
couldn't win.
was y'all defense was stout than a motherfucker.
The Chiefs
Um,
always had a good defense and always had a good run game too. Whether it was Kareem Hunt or Isaiah Pacheco back there.
But he didn't have a Randy Moss.
you gotta think of. I mean, he had Tyreek
He had
Hill,
Travis Kelce.
but you gotta think about it. He has one with Sammy Watkins, Valdez Scantling, fucking Kadarius Toney, fucking a rookie and Rashid Rice. These are some of the players he fucking won with. Like
And then, let me see.
he Le'Veon Bell, fucking Deshaun, fucking dude from the Eagles. I can't remember his
Jackson.
name. Nah, the running back.
He played.
Can't stand home. LaShawn McCoy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
He didn't
yeah.
even play in the bowl.
Gronk ain't playing the Super Bowl. Motherfucking Brandon Cooks got hurt on the first play. And Julian Edelman wasn't playing, I don't think.
But again, Patrick Mahomes had Kadarius Toney and Valdez Scantling against a significantly better defense than what you guys faced in that Super Bowl. And that wasn't 40-year-old Brady either.
I just think, I don't know, man. I got a question for y'all. Since we talking
We got to
about
wrap this up
athletic,
too.
yeah, since we talking about athletic gifted QBs, who's more gifted, Mahomes or Brady?
Mahomes.
Mahomes just be out there playing NFL street ball, man.
I ain't gonna
It's,
lie, I can't even say nothing, man. This nigga Mahomes, he got it.
and so now in closing, I just want to get your perspective on that Patriots and Eagles game real quick.
I ain't. It's the preseason. I ain't really tripping about it, but I don't like the fact how like they tried to play Joe Milton. I like Drake May showed a little bit of spark, but he didn't really do much to show me. He played majority of the game, 6 for 11 for 47 yards. That's decent. 4 of his completions were screens. He had that one little touchdown run, but then you had Joe Milton. I still like Joe Milton. I think he probably might be better than Drake May. You can't blame him for the center fumbling the ball or the receivers dropping the ball. Same thing with Bailey Zappi. He was about to come through, just now touching the field, leading the team on a game-winning drive for the center to snap the ball over his head.
Yeah, that was a terrible way to
For that to
lose.
be our second string center, man, I don't like that.
Yeah, yeah, that was a terrible way to lose, man. I think y'all defense is crazy. Even with Matt Judon, y'all defense still. And this dude, his replacement, Anthony, he's just as. I'm not gonna say just as good as Judon, but
He definitely gonna have, and we got Keon White still. Keon White gonna
yeah.
have
I,
Keon White.
I say I say he better fit y'all system than Judon because he can play the run and the pass. Judon was more of a pass rusher, but Jennings he could do everything. He could play the pass, he could rush the QB, he could run, he could play the run. Like, and then a quick review of the Cowboys game. Um, Yo, if hey God, man, if our second string defense is looking like that, I can't wait to see what first team look like. If the second team secondary getting picks and shit like that, I can't wait to see the Diggs and the Blands and them out there, boy. I
Well,
can't
what I
fucking
what I
wait.
like what I like that Zimmer. I don't know if you noticed this, but what Zimmer's been doing is he's been taking that preseason second string defense and he's been making them play against Dak and the
Yep,
starters.
yep.
So like they are getting accustomed to playing like starting level talent. So like when they can't, bro, they play that shit like a real game.
Hmm.
And like they played Vegas' starting offense outside of Devontae.
Yeah, yeah, we
Minshew
was.
ass, bro.
He getting his spot taken away.
I mean,
Wait,
AJ McDonald ain't no better though. Homie came out and he looked even worse.
he looked better though. He looked better than what the fuck Minshew. I'm starting to
Well, guess what? It
believe
was like
Rock.
you saw
Yeah,
Gardner Minshew getting rocked by that. They didn't sack him, but like that pass rush was in Minshew's face, and Minshew was seeing ghosts out there.
hey,
So like if that's happening with the second team, imagine if Micah's out there.
man,
Although
yo,
Max Crosby, man, Max Crosby was a fucking dog last
he's a
night, bro.
dog. Yo, Nealon is a monster. This draft class is amazing. Not this year, but in the next couple years, more fuel out. He about to be a problem for the league. The way how he shoot gaps is ridiculous. Um, yeah, man, I just can't wait. A beautiful thing about this time of the year is we only get 3 weeks of preseason. So season is almost in the way. And that being said, fellas, till next time.
Real quick.
Yes,
I
sir.
I took off the ninth,
Yep.
or sorry, is it the ninth or the eighth? It's the eighth. Yeah, the eighth. I took off the eighth, which is the first game, the Cowboys Browns game. I
Yep.
go to Florida. I fly out to Florida on the ninth. So
Yep.
I had that day off anyway. So I'm trying to get like a little, I got the house. So I'm going to be off. Wife and kid aren't going to be home. I dare say y'all come by. We'll have a little cookout, have some drinks, watch some fucking games that Sunday. Fucking just kick it.
That's
Fuck
what's
it.
up. That's what's up.
I got the grill. Like I said, I got the house too. So we don't have to worry, it's not like some little, I know it's kind of a weird flex, but like it ain't like an apartment or anything like that. Like I
Yeah,
got plenty of space. We chill, we smoke, we drink, we do whatever.
I'm with
Just
it.
hang out, kick it, watch the first week of football.
Another thing I want to do, not this year because I think we need to have more of a more intimate group of people to do it with. But eventually, I want to form a fantasy league where we all get together and we do a draft board and we do a draft like that. I
I'm
think
down
that
with
would
that.
be dope. And then we could come up if we end up doing a money league eventually. The winner wins a trophy type shit.
Word.
Um, Also, I would like both of you guys to know on it's right before Thanksgiving, so I understand if y'all for whatever reason, depending on what you got going on, can't do it. But we are not doing Thanksgiving at my wife's family's house this year. So for Thanksgiving, when you guys are done with your family and shit, I'd really appreciate if you guys wanted to come by. We'll watch the Thanksgiving game here, hang out, enjoy the rest of the
Better yet,
holiday together.
this, cause I haven't. My household really don't do Thanksgiving like that neither. So here's what we'll do. I'll go over there and cook some grill iron food, my brother.
And I got one more big announcement for you. Hey, sorry, Rodney, you're more than welcome to tag along too, but this one's more for Isaiah. Um, how do you feel? How do you do in the cold, Isaiah?
How I do in the cold?
Hmm.
I do phenomenal in the cold.
You do phenomenal in the cold.
Yep.
That's good to hear because I have 2 tickets to the Cowboys Philly game at the end of December. I'd like you to join me.
Holy shit! Don't make me cry on air, my boy. Shit. Hey,
It's on December 29th. The only thing is it's a 4:30 game. We can't stay in Philly because the 30th is my wife's birthday. But
I don't
I
give
figured
a fuck.
if we drive down the 28th, that Saturday night, we stay in Philly for the night. We go to the game the next day, and then we take the train back up that night. It's going to be a late night, but I do have 2 tickets, and I'd love for you to join me.
Invitation is accepted, my brother. Shit.
So Sunday, December 29th, we're going to be in Philly at that game.
That just fucked me up. Alright. Let me get off this shit before I get emotional and shit, fellas.
So,
Alright,
all
fellas.
right, you guys be easy, man.
We setting still. We about to do Thanksgiving. We're gonna do a Big Z and the OGs podcast Thanksgiving this year. You
Hell yeah,
down?
man. Let's do it.
Let's go. I'm with it.
Also, Rodney,
Yo,
since I did unintentionally leave you out of the Philly game. Obviously, if you could scrounge up a ticket, you're more than welcome to come with us or split the hotel room up, whatever the case may be. I do have a connect on Patriots tickets if you're trying to go to a Patriots game.
most definitely. Shit, you should have brought this shit up last season. We could have went to that Patriots Dallas game.
No, I just got the connect like 2 weeks ago. One of the perks of my job is like now I know a lot of people that make a shit ton of money. So now I know people that have connects. So this connect just got brought up to me. So I can get us a hookup on Patriots tickets. There's a game you want to go to. I can get us tickets to it for cheap.
Say no more.
So
See. Hey, it's not about what you know, it's about who you know.
Oh
Um,
God.
but yeah, man. I just want to say I appreciate y'all guys as always, and I appreciate everybody listening. And in closing, I just want to say, put Pete Rose in the Hall.